Welcome to the Tyrant. This is where you learn, not like those places you go which aren't quite as good, but they try to be, but they never are, because when you come to me, it'll leave you only wondering, why have I not asked the Tyrant? Right. Okay. Okay. So, Tyrant, me, episode unknown. I'm asked. Shut up. I'm asked too many questions to try to keep up, haven't I? Okay. Okay, I'll be honest. This week I wasn't quite. I looked at the questions, but I decided to go against them once again because I'm the Tyrant. Instead, I used the Tyrant's method of questions. See, when everything's done better in Tyrant form. And one of the best ways that things are done better in Tyrant form is to just wing it. So I did. Basically, what I done, right, I got, like tissue paper, right, I cut out strips of tissue paper like so, and I put random letters on each one. There was about 3 million or so per square unit. Well, I planted each letter underground. Now, you may not believe me, okay? The National Tyrant Association came to me and they said, I can't actually say it, what they said, but it went sort of like this: Tyrant. And I'm like, yes, and they're like, look, we like your idea for the wing it question, but could you do me a favor and plant get a bunch of seeds and write letters on the vegetables, and whatever vegetables come up first, take the first letter from each one and basically use that as a question. Well, I did do that, and you know what the question was? What is the speed of evil? Now, here's a weird bit. I didn't add a question mark, but one of them had a question mark, which has me wonder, you know, the countdown, like you got that right, you've got consonants and vowels. Every one of those bloody words have a meaning behind them. Pound, you know, both of them have a meaning, obviously, but you don't have question marks and exclamation marks and accents and stuff like that in countdown. I mean, how funny would it be if it was a 9-question bit and it consonant, vowel, consonant. That's an exclamation mark. Really? Like that? Well, it wasn't like that. Anyway, I had a question mark. I realized that's the missing thing, and the missing letter is the question mark, because we don't use a letter for the end of a question. We use like 3, usually who, what, where, when, and why would be the most common for stating a question, but the question mark isn't a letter, but it should be, because they're used with letters, and you have the number thing and everything. I mean, could you tell me what the 7th symbol is? Is it a question mark? Is it an exclamation mark? Is it a quotation mark? No one knows, because they don't teach you this sort of thing. You know that crap, or I'll talk about that later, actually. Anyway, what is the speed of evil? That is a very good question, vegetable. The thing about the speed of evil is it's so fast. It takes about 10 years for it to catch up. I'm not talking 10 ordinary Tyrant years. I'm talking 10 of your years. 10 years in your time, right? The world is going really, really fast. The universe is also going extraordinarily fast, okay? So, if I decide to do something good, okay, that impact, that full impact, takes effect now. But 10 years from now, it would complete, because it would take that long to get. Like if the universe stopped, every decision you ever made would just catch up like that. That's why time is possible. It's decisions what we are doing being pulled over a slow time. You decide you're going to walk down a street. By the time you got there, you decided you're going to walk back again. Imagine suddenly that you were down that street. Well, that's basically what it is. You have to decide what you're going to do, and then it's done. So when you decide you're going to do something evil, that doesn't mean that you're doing it as you're deciding it. First you have to decide it, and then you have to do it. And doing it doesn't change you to an evil person. It takes at least 10 years for it to be true evil. So if the National Tyrant Association has to be there, and they are at the precise second of every one of those. So 10 years from now, if I was to have done something evil, then right at this very day would be the point that I would change. So see these people who suddenly become evil, and you're like, whoa, where did you suddenly become evil? Well, see the point that you're at that second where they choose to start becoming evil. That is it. So 10 years on is when the actual event takes place, which turns him evil. I mean, he could just be an ordinary guy. I didn't suspect him to be a murderer, you know. But 10 years down that line, someone's going to really piss him off, and he's going to want to murder them. 10 years in advance, he gets the thing to murder someone, because that's the way it works. So 10 years, we know that's going to happen. But beforehand, when it gets to the point where that actually happens, no one can believe it, because it's not yet to happen for 10 years. The speed of evil is so slow, and the universe is just too fast. So the association has to be on top of everything. Otherwise, if you're going to decide to be good for a change, you would have to do it now, so that 10 years from now, when people see you as a good person, you know it's because of that point you suddenly changed, means that 10 years from now you're going to be good. And that's only because at this point now you're changing. So that doesn't mean you're doing the decision now. The decision is made 10 years from now. So what the association do is, they make it so that if the decision I was to make would be now, so it would be 10 years from now, that the decision I would make would be 10 years from now, so that it would be now that I'd be evil. Okay, got to go.